What's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Shard here, and I got a question for you. How can the Phillies beat above 500 teams when we beat them, they're not 500 anymore? Eric, also known as Shard here with the 302 Birds post-game show, and the Phillies are on an absolute tear right now. They take the first game against the defending World Series champions, the Texas Rangers. And I got somebody back with me tonight that hasn't been here for a while. What's up, Brendan?
What's up, brother? So can we celebrate this? Because when we started the day, the Rangers were above 500. Or what were they, 500? They're below 500 now. Are we allowed to celebrate this? Like, can we be happy about this? Or are we not allowed to be happy about anything until we play, either the Orioles, the Dodgers, or the Yankees? Because I'm
not allowed to.
Because I'm ecstatic.
Out of the entire MLB, there's only 11 teams that are above 500 out of the entire MLB. And it seems like whenever the Phillies play them, they're 500 or above. And then when we play them, they're now below 500. So they don't qualify.
It's happened more times than I can count. And, I don't know if we're just more sophisticated here in Philly or we have better education here in Philly than, the Atlanta area. But the Phillies swept, if I remember correctly, a 4-game series against the Padres. The Braves lost 3 of 4 against the Padres. The Padres would be above 500 if, the Phillies didn't sweep them. So I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I'm digging into it a little bit further to have rationale behind being happy. But I'm fucking ecstatic. I don't care what anybody else says. This team doesn't make the fucking schedule. This is the best team in baseball. This is the best baseball team I think I've ever seen at this point.
Talking about the Fightins here. The Fightins! Said!
There's nothing else you can say. There's nothing else.
I mean, dude, I'm so tired of the whole, you haven't played anybody yet. I mean, we just played the defending World Series champs. What more do you want? And we absolutely demolished them. So what more do you want?
That was a little iffy at the end.
It was a little iffy, but I mean, they had to win for Jose's birthday, so
yeah,
big boy got it done.
He did. He gives a little bit more of a reasoning to bring Mason Miller in, but I love Alvarado. I think he's great. I think he's a clutch guy. I just don't think he's a ninth inning guy. I'm sure we'll get into it at one point or another tonight, but I don't think he's a ninth inning guy.
Yeah, I think we'll get into it here, but getting into our first topic, the Ranger is on an absolute tear right now, dude. On an absolute tear. I was kind of iffy if he was going to go 7 innings just because he was doing well. He did well all throughout, the entire game. And the only thing was that in the beginning, he was getting guys out, but he was taking a while to do it. He was getting to full counts. He was throwing balls before he would, throw strikes. And it just seemed like he was just taking forever to get the people out before he got them out. So he goes 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no home runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts for an ERA of 1.36. And him having 10 strikeouts tonight ties the most of his career. So he has one other game with 10 strikeouts in his career. So he tied it tonight.
Yeah. I think this is something I think I've been picking up on over the last couple of weeks or not. It seems like Wheeler, Nola, and Suarez are going out there and they're getting into these shitty pitch counts really early on. And it seems a lot of it is they're just attacking them early in the count and they're fouling off balls left and right. It screwed Wheeler out of getting past 5 innings to 1 game. Nola getting past 5. Suarez today. Suarez on his last one too. So it's not a big concern, but it's something that, definitely keep in the back of the mind that if you can't get these guys to go past, 6-7 innings at 100 pitches, you're going to have to be very, very reliable with this bullpen.
I mean, even with the bullpen, I think the bullpen honestly lately has been super reliable. I mean,
100%.
I can't make any argument against the bullpen not being reliable. Granted, Hoffman was a little iffy there in the 8th inning. He looked like he was going to let up a run or two. Which I don't know about you, but when I saw that he lit up a home run, whatever, I'm not about it because the way that it happened, this little girl was trying to catch the ball with one hand and she was holding her hot dog with the other. And the way it happened was the ball went into her glove and then just fell right into her hot dog, chicken nuggets, fries, whatever that was. And it just got all over all over the field. I was like, damn, dude, like, I feel bad, but that's kind of funny at the same time. Like,
yeah, I will say that she probably did a better job than half the grown men that I've seen try to catch a foul ball or a home run.
I hope they gave her something.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that was just hilarious. I was sitting there watching and I was like, damn, it's a home run. But like, just to see all that happen,
yeah,
try to catch that home run was funny. But yeah, so Ranger has an absolute complete outing tonight. He has the second lowest ERA in all of MLB. I think the first, and I can't pronounce
it. Should be Shoto Imanaga, if I'm saying that correctly, which is wild because, but Suarez is on like a tyrant right now. One of the best things I think any of us have ever seen going against, not saying he's better than Holiday or Lee or Hamels or any of those guys yet, but I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before, right? The only thing that you can compare something like this to as like a whole, granted, and then at the same time as Suarez alone is 2011. And even at that point, nobody went 9-0. Nobody has a 1.36 ERA going into their 10th start. Like, this is shit that we're talking about that hasn't happened since like 1915 with Grover Cleveland Alexander, right? It's absolutely insane. And just the fact that like there's still a chance that Suarez might not start the All-Star game because somebody's doing even better than he is just like flabbergasting at this point, man.
I don't care so much if he starts. I care more so about him getting there and just proving that he belongs to be there. So I mean, like, you already know who's pitching tomorrow, which again, I can't fucking stand this guy. The pitches tomorrow. His ERA right now is a 4.91 ERA, 16 strikeouts. How is he 3-0? He has no losses yet.
It's the same thing that happened last year. He had the most wins on the Phillies last year, right? Like, he gets the run support wildly. Like, I will be the first one to say that you never want to see a guy go down on an injury, but at the same time, I thought that was going to be the opportunity for Turnbull to go back into this rotation. Who knows, man? It's just he needs to be on a short leash, especially since like tomorrow's going to be his first real like test going into this year, coming back off the injured list and everything. It's just he needs to be on a short leash, and then at the same time, the bullpen needs to be ready if they got to come in.
Yeah, definitely. And what was I going to say? I mean, is he coming back tomorrow with that whole foot thing?
That's everything that I've seen. I was looking at it before we hopped on. It looks like he's the projected guy for tomorrow. It can go either way. It's just one of those weird things with him. It's the same things when Topper puts out these weird ass lineups when everybody's sitting at the same time. There's just something in the baseball gods that allows him to go 6 innings after he gives up 3 runs. He just settles down. I don't know what the hell he does or how he does it, but hopefully they can, produce something in the background.
I hope so. So I do want to bring up though that speaking of injuries, just for the Rangers, Adolis Garcia was out tonight as well. So I'm sure we'll hear something about that from everybody. I'm sure Adolis will be out tomorrow because it looks like it's a forearm injury that he has. But yeah, I mean, Rangers the first MLB pitcher, like Star Wars said here, to get to 9-0. He has 9 wins, no losses, knock on wood. So he's the first MLB pitcher to do so. Like I said earlier, second lowest ERA in all of MLB. So he's on an absolute tear right now. And I think he has the best whip out of the entire MLB.
Yeah, it's got to be up there with him and Imanaga. Give me 2 seconds with that.
Who has the best whip in baseball? Let's see. Yeah, Ranger Suarez whip.
There you go.
No, he has the second lowest whip. The first is the Detroit Tigers pitcher Tariq Is it Skubal?
Yeah, Skubal.
Okay.
He's about the only bright spot coming out of Detroit right now.
So I mean, he's only off by 0.01. So I mean, like, it's not like it's that big of a deal. But yeah, so on an absolute tear right now. So somebody else that's on an absolute tear right now, Alec Bohm, dude. Alec Bohm is on an absolute freaking tear right now. He is the RBI merchant. Every time this guy is up to the plate, when there's somebody on base, he's driving them in. He's getting the runs. He just overtook Ozuna tonight for that number one spot again. He's tied with, I forget who he's tied with for number one. It looks like Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Guardians. They both have 44 RBIs right now. Marcelo Ozuna is number 3. He has 43. So I mean, like, I'm so amazed at what Alec Bohm has been able to do in this past year. I mean, when he was moved up to that cleanup spot last year, he wasn't the best. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. But he's definitely stepped up to the plate this year. He's definitely that guy that you can rely on to get those.
Yeah, there's nothing really more that you can say with that, right? Like, this is the first time I think in a very long time that you've had somebody that can back Harper, right? Nobody's pitching around Harper right now because nobody wants to face Bohm with the guys on base. Like, that's the biggest thing, and I think this is going to be the biggest thing for Harper at the same time. It's allowing him to get hot because they have to pitch to him. They have to throw him strikes because they don't want him on base. Bohm, I only think, has, 4 home runs for the entire year, and he's number 1 in RBIs. So, like, you can't pitch around Harper. You can't pitch around Muto. You can't pitch around Turner. You can't pitch around Schwarber. Like, there's things that just are lining up with Bohm sitting in that cleanup spot that is just really just setting everybody else off beforehand. Oh, I think you're muted, Eric.
Sorry, I wanted to give you your spotlight. But yeah, I think honestly what pisses me off, and I don't know if you saw this earlier, that MLB came out with. MLB came out with the probable MVP top 5 earlier.
Oh, it was horrible.
And it was like Ellie De La Cruz. It was who else was on there?
Should have been Shohei.
It was Shohei. It was Ronald Acuna Jr.,
which is fucking insane.
And I'm just like, how is Alec Bohm not on this list, especially over Ella Cruz or whatever his name is from the Reds? Like, I get that he has the most stolen bases. Cool, whatever.
It's a popularity contest.
But I'm like, Bohm has the most RBI right now. He has the most guys that he's batted in. How is he not on this list right now?
It's the same thing we've talked about before about respect, right? Like, I think Suarez is on like 3rd or 4th on the list to be a Cy Young candidate. So at the same time, he's not getting the love. Bohm's not getting the love. I think at this point, nobody can say a fucking word about the Phillies not bringing guys up through the farm system, because this is the first time since as long as I can remember that there's a decent farm system going through. You have young guys coming up producing. You have Stott. You got Bohm, Rojas, Suarez, Alvarado. You can throw Dominguez in there on his good days, like, or Kirkering as well. Like, these are all guys that came up through the system, and that's something I definitely remember hearing a lot about throughout probably the last 10 years, is that the Phillies have A, bought everybody, and B, can't produce a good farm system. Is it that deep right now? I can probably name 5 guys that are solid that might be MLB ready, but after that, there's not much. But the way he's producing is just, it's wild to think about where he was last year, 2 years ago, and where he's at now. And it's only going to get better. He's not even out of our arbitration yet.
No, he's not. And the one thing I want to bring up, and I see the comment here from Dennis, who says wins are nice, but it doesn't really matter until October and November. I kind of agree with you, but I also disagree with you. I feel like the more wins you have now, the less you have to worry come, pre-postseason time, especially right before. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like last year and the year before, they were kind of teetering right there on that wild card spot. So I feel like the sooner that we can solidify a spot in the postseason, we'll be better off. Honestly, I mean, if you want to solidify your spot in the postseason and then play a couple bench guys so that way you can give your starters that rest, I mean, I'm all for it. But yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with that comment. I mean, again, yeah, it's nice now, but I think it does matter. Ryan, do you have anything to add to that?
I will first say that there's nothing else in this world besides for my wedding. Let me just put that out there that I'm looking forward to besides for Red October, right? So everything will matter come October, come November. At the same time, this is a very, very long baseball season, 162 games, right? You need to have fun with it because if something happens in whether it's an injury, a cold streak, this team just, shuts down, God forbid, enjoy it now because I don't know the next time you're going to see a guy start the season 9-0 when you're going to see a guy be an RBI leader with 4 home runs. It's just you're not going to see the camaraderie that they have. So wins are nice. October is going to be nicer. November is going to be the nicest. But enjoy what this team's doing now because it's going to come. Just enjoy the ride. That's all I got to say with it.
Hey man, we're almost through March or not March. We're almost through May. Can't make the months apparently, but we're almost through May. June's almost here. June Swarber
Yep.
Wawa's favorite employee. Almost
Turner coming back.
That's my whole thing too. Is they're playing so well.
13-3 since he went down.
They're playing so well without Turner right now that when he comes back, I'm just like, it can go either way. When somebody comes off
exploding.
When someone comes off an injury, you can either explode or you can kind of be shitty. Yeah. I think he's going to explode personally, and I think this team's going to go to new heights that we've never seen before.
I think they're going to end up leading the league in runs. They're going to lead the league in hits. They're going to have the best pitching staff in the league come the end of the year. But we're talking about a Tuesday night in May when Ranger Suarez walks off the mound and the entire stadium's erupting, right? Imagine when you have a guy like Turner back in there who's hitting bombs after Schwarber, going before Harper. There's nothing like this. It's going to blow everybody out of the water. I think we haven't even seen the entirety of it all.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it either. And like I said, I mean, they're on an absolute tear right now. I'm really impressed that they're doing what they are doing because we've seen shitty baseball the last couple of years. And I think, honestly, they're out for revenge. They've had a taste of champion the past 2 years. And we'll see what happens. I'm really confident in this team right now, and I really hope they don't let me down for a third year in a row.
You just got to ride it out. That's all. I have every bit of my happiness riding on this team in this season. So they just ride it out. I'm going to be the most miserable person come November if something happens. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, my mental health relies on this team right now. So
I can't do it again because I'm sure I'll do something going to postseason games or something like that. But I can't fly back from Arizona getting the shit beat out of you after Craig Kimbrell came in and blew it. Can't do that again. I have everything riding on this team, so it has to happen. There needs to be a fucking break.
Yeah, and I'm honestly, if we make it to the postseason this season, I'm definitely going to a game. Like last year, I'm so mad I didn't take advantage of it because, I guess there's a Phillies insider thing,
right?
And they sent me an email. And they were like, "Hey, tickets are $60 for postseason if you want to go to the first game." And I was like, "I don't have the money right now. I can't go."
Right.
And then a week later, I got money, and tickets were already $500 a piece.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, I should have taken advantage of it."
I will say that one of the most fun games I've ever been to was game 1 of the NLCS. And we stood standing room only out by the bullpen, yelling at Zach Gallen. Nothing will ever compete against that until I get to go to a World Series game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I don't know if you saw.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely amazing for Harper. Harper is such a stand-up guy. He's one of the reasons why he belongs in Philly. Everybody loves him. But for those of you that didn't see, I think yesterday, I believe they had some kind of bowling outing yesterday for their off day. And one of the fans there had asked Harper if he would follow him to his girlfriend's house or something, the boy's girlfriend or whatever. So Harper followed him to the house, and Harper helped this boy ask a girl to prom. But I mean, prom power came in clutch tonight, dude. He had a clutch home run to tie up the game. And I mean, like I said the other night, Harper will get a home run and then go cold for 4 to 6 games, then get another clutch home run, then go cold again. And it's just an endless cycle. And it's so annoying because I want to see him like be super hot for like 5 games consistently.
Yeah, what's wild is that he's projected to have like 40 home runs and 130 plus RBIs, and he hasn't even had a streak yet, right? Like you said, these are all just been hit or miss games, and either he has the birth of his child, he's hitting a home run, he does the promposal, he hits a home run, the rain out for 4 hours hits a home run. Like it's just he hasn't even went hot yet. That's the wild part, and he's projected for 40 home runs and 130 plus RBIs. If he gets hot, it's over. It's over, man. I think he's another one that deserves a spot on the All-Star team. This team, the Phillies definitely should have at least 5 to 6 guys on the All-Star team by July.
You know who isn't hot though, and stuff keeps happening in the world, and he doesn't take advantage of it? Nick Castellanos. What was there like last week? There was a meteor that fell.
Yeah.
The Iranian president died in a helicopter crash.
Yep.
There's been wildfires. Nick, if you're listening, I need you to take advantage of this, dude. I need my bets to go through. I'm betting on you, and nothing's happening.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. When do you start getting concerned with him being an everyday right fielder?
I feel like if we're using this argument, right, could we say the same for Rojas? Like, and I mean that in the sense of they're both decent outfielders defensively. But then when it comes to offense, they're both absolutely terrible. I mean, last I checked, Nick Castellanos was like 37 for like 120 something, I think. So he's absolutely terrible. It seems like every time he gets up to the plate and there's guys on base, he's hitting into a double play. He's hitting some kind of ground out, pop out, whatever. He's swinging at things that are way outside. It just seems like he doesn't care. Like he doesn't care.
Yeah, I know he's talked about him eyeing the ball down, overlooking the ball, trying to focus too much, trying to, deal with analytics, shit like that. I was watching a video this morning of just, I think it was game 1 of the NLDS from last year, just for shits and giggles type of thing. And his back-to-back home runs against Strider. Like, that was less than a year ago. I don't see this being a forever thing. But at the same time, when the hell do we come out of this? Because I don't see him going the entire year sitting at like 210, not having more than 15 home runs, and him just going off in the playoffs, right? I don't think that's the case. But at the same time, can Cody Clemens play right field? Because when Turner comes back, he's going to need a spot.
I think when Turner comes back, unfortunately, and I've seen a lot of debate about this on Twitter. I've seen a lot of discussions about this on like the Reddit Phillies pages on who we should send down. I think it's honestly between Pache and Cody. And I think honestly,
the problem with Pache is you lose he would have to be DFA'd.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if you're going to send somebody down, it's going to have to be Cody. As much as that sucks because Cody right now is like absolutely hot. Granted, today I think he kind of sucked offensively.
Well, he's not going to get a home run every day, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, and I'm not expecting him to. But I mean, I think unfortunately you are going to have to send Cody down as much as it sucks. But
the only thing that I've seen that was kind of interesting, and this is another one that's going to be way too iffy to actually happen. But if you sent a bullpen arm down like Dominguez to get his shit together, kept Cody there because you have a pitching staff that's going 5, 6, 7 innings every game. That's an option, but I don't see it being an actual one. But who knows? Because it's just if he goes down and he's hot like this, I don't see him coming back up and being hot again.
No, I don't either. And like Jordan said here, give Cody a chance. I mean, I want to.
Right.
Granted, I'm not the manager. I want to give Cody a chance. But again, you have to look at it from a statistical standpoint when it comes to contracts. Because, I mean, granted, Trey's your everyday starter. Who can you really move around? I think, honestly, if you want to move anybody around, it's either, again, like I said, if you keep Cody up, it's going to be, like you said, a bullpen arm, or it's going to be Pache or Whit Merrifield.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
And both of those guys would get picked up in a heartbeat going through waivers.
I mean, I don't know if you send Whit down because, I mean, you didn't pay too much for him, but you did pay a pretty penny. I don't know. I feel for Rob in that sense, just because I feel like as a manager, that's like one of the most hardest choices you're going to have to make. And I feel like any way that you do it, you're going to piss somebody off.
Oh, 100%. But what I will tell you is this is a very good problem to have. And it's been a very long time since they've had a problem like this.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have because you have so many good players. But again, I just like you're going to piss somebody off in the whole Phillies fandom. But
100%.
But going into our next topic and starting to close out the show, like Beyonce said in her, song a couple weeks ago, this ain't Texas. Phillies on an absolute tear right now. Again, they win the game 5-2 against the Texas Rangers. Ranger Suarez, the only pitcher named Ranger to pitch against the Texas Rangers.
And win.
So I kind of want to just get into a rant here. Again, I kind of talked about this at the beginning of the show, but the defending World Series champions come into your house and you defeat them in the first game. I've said this before. I don't think we're going to get the series sweep. I think, honestly, tomorrow I don't have high expectations for because I think Walker's going to absolutely shit the bed and prove why he needs to be sent away. I think tomorrow is going to be that game where Rob looks at it and says, okay, Walker is absolutely terrible. We need to bring Turnbull back up. So I think, honestly, they're going to lose tomorrow. They're going to win the game on, Thursday with Wheeler. But my whole point of this conversation is that if we can win this series right now, there is no reason why anybody should doubt us when you can defeat the World Series champions in your own house.
Yeah, I got nothing else. We've beaten this fucking horse to death. I don't know what else we could say. You don't make the fucking schedule. This team doesn't play the Orioles until next month. They don't play the Dodgers until next month. They don't play the Braves until 2 months from now. Like, you can't help these things. They don't play the Yankees until next month. You just can't fucking help it. Just because the other thing is, if they were losing these games, they would be the worst team in baseball. So, like, it's either you win and get told that you ain't nothing, or you lose the games and you get told you're nothing. So, win the games, let Philadelphia be happy as a whole, and everybody else can just kiss the city's ass. That's all I got out of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a real test for this team, like everybody's been saying for the last week. And I think they're up for that. I think they're like you just said, a couple minutes ago, it's a good problem to have when you have so many good players and you have to decide who you're sending down because you don't want to lose any of those good players that you have. Yeah.
It's like I said, the only thing that I would like to see is maybe a bullpen arm go down, but at the same time, who do you send down from the bullpen? Because I don't know how many options Dominguez has left at this point. And after that, I wouldn't send down Ortiz. I wouldn't send down Kerkering or Alvarado or Strom or Hoffman or Soto because they're all producing. It's a wild concept, but everybody on this team's producing, and nobody really deserves to go down to AAA except for number 99.
I mean, yeah, I think he's really the only one that you can send down. And I'm trying to look at.
He'll be the most expensive AAA player of all fucking time.
The Rangers and then the Rockies. Okay.
Yep.
So I think we win the series against the Rangers. I think, honestly, I said this to Dolt on Sunday, and I kind of want your opinion on it too. We play the Rockies after the Rangers.
Right.
My whole thing with the Rockies is we absolutely embarrassed them when we played. I think it could be kind of a revenge situation because we are going into their house.
They're also hot right now, too.
They are hot. But I also think that they're not that team either. But
no.
We'll see.
Like, they're 7-3 in their last 10, but they also have a run differential of minus 73. So take what you want out of it. But the worst thing you got to think of is they're going from one of their first real series of the year, contradicting everything we just said. But at the same time, you're flying all the way to Colorado and you're playing at a different altitude.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens because it's the Rockies, then it's the Giants again, two teams that we've swept.
We're back to these West Coast games.
Then it's but see, the thing with road trip games is like certain players go off on road trip games. Like JT, I'm sure JT will go on a tear on this road trip.
Honestly, it's something that Castellanos could take advantage of too.
Yeah. And then we play We play the Cardinals. We play the Lose. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you saw their.
Whoever's designing these things, holy shit, give it to a 5-year-old at this point.
I saw that they released their name and it said the Lou, and I was like, isn't that like the bathroom?
That was my first reaction.
But I was like, you really didn't do much to change it. It looks like an alternate uniform more than a City Connect, because all you did was you kept the birds on the bat, you changed the Lou. We're getting off topic here, but but yeah, I just like certain City Connects are good, certain City Connects are trash. That one for me is absolutely garbage, but that's besides the point. Closing out the show now, hot takes. You want to go first tonight?
I will revisit my first one that you hate. I still think Rob Thompson will be manager of the year. The team is 34-14 right now. One of the hottest starts this team has ever had. One of the hottest starts in baseball of all time, if you really want to go that far. Run differential of plus 80. Rob Thompson looks like he knows what the fuck he's doing. He acts like he knows what he's doing, and he shows it when he's out there. The only thing I would give Thompson, and this is me looking back to where I think it was the game on Sunday, felt like he could have been a little bit more vocal against the umpire. So, like, if he needs to get thrown out of a game, I'd like to see the old Charlie Manuel days out of that. My other hot take is Mason Miller needs to be in pinstripes by the trade deadline. I don't care what it takes. This team is going to win now. You want to play for now. You get him for, I think, 5 years because he's only in his rookie year. He's on the league minimum. He throws 103. He'll be your closer guy. You can put Strom, Hoffman, Alvarado, Soto, all these guys back into set positions in the bullpen. He'll be your closer, and we can have an actual closer that it doesn't feel like it's 2006, 7, 8, 9 with the Heartbreak Kids going from Flash Tom Gordon to Ryan Madsen to Brad Lidge to all those guys. So let's get a set closer because I don't think it's time to put Kirkering in that role yet either.
Yeah, I agree with you. In question for you, is this the best start that they've had? Like, I know we were tied with the 76 team. It was like the best start through 40-something games. I want to say yes.
I think it's up there. I'm not sure if it's the one, but I know they were talking about the 93 Phillies. They were talking about, I think it was the 80, either 80 or 86. And there was one, I think, before that in either the 50s or the 60s. But other than that, this is the hottest start. Because right now, what are they on pace for? 107, 108 wins?
Yeah, they're on pace for between 107 and 110.
Yeah.
I know they said that this is the first time in 13 years that they've been 21 games over 500. So
right. And 5 games above the Braves.
Is it 5 games still?
Yep. Because right now the Braves are tied 3-3 in the top of the 8th. They were up 3-2 in the 6th when I last checked.
They blew a 5-run lead against the Padres the other night, so we'll see what happens.
A team that the Phillies took a 4-game sweep against, by the way.
But I guess my hot take would be I'm gonna just you rode with one of your old ones. I'm gonna ride with one of my old ones. I think Alec Bohm is gonna be a sneaky MVP candidate, especially if he can keep this RBI streak up and keep driving in those runs. I think he has a real portfolio resume to get that MVP or just something in general. I think he has an absolute strong argument to win something.
Yeah. If it's not MVP, he sure as hell should be up there for a Silver Slugger.
I definitely agree. I think he should get a Silver Slugger if he keeps it up. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but all good things sometimes come to an end, and that can always happen. So we'll see what happens. But I don't have anything more to add. I mean, you have anything else?
No, the only thing I was going to add is just to keep everybody on the lookout. Shard and I will be holding a conversation/interview with Dave from UK Phillies in the next week. I'm sure once it gets edited and everything, it'll be out in the next couple of weeks. So just keep an eye on that. Just having everything lead up to the London series coming up on the 8th and the 9th, I think. So very excited for that. Should be a good conversation. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that's all I got. Phillies win 5-2 tonight against the Rangers. Walker's on the mound tomorrow. Like I said, I don't expect much from him, but it seems like every time he's out there, they get the run support. So we'll see. It says here they haven't announced their starting pitcher yet. Still says TBD. No, they did announce it. I lied. It wasn't announced 5 minutes ago, but looks like it's Dane Dunning. He has a 3-2 record, 4.1 ERA, 43 strikeouts. So, I mean, shit, at this point, it could go either way.
Go either way. Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens. But on that note, Eric and Brendan signing off. Great game. Looking forward to doing it again tomorrow. And on that note, Ranger, take us out.